What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to of course be talking about with you guys. This time it is currently being reported that there is a chance that Donovan Mitchell could potentially request a trade to a bigger market team in the next year or so. Another report actually claims that the Knicks are believed to be Donovan Mitchell's pretty much top choice if he were to actually request a trade out of Utah. And this is being reported by Greg Sylvander. I absolutely hate this report. I'm just going to put it out there. I really dislike this. I don't understand why in the NBA especially, because in the NFL it's completely different. And I think really the NBA is the only sport where I think it's kind of like this in the world, where for some reason players just have to go to top market teams. Like, they just have to go there. For some reason, all of these reporters, when a player is linked to a team, it's never to somewhere like Memphis, who are actually a really good team, or Utah, which is also a really good team. The team that Donovan Mitchell is already on, it always has to be a team like the Knicks, or the Heat, or the Lakers, even when they're bad. Like, I'm not going to say that the Knicks are a bad team right now. I think they've got a lot of things going for them. But the Knicks aren't even in the playoffs right now, and they're currently 10th in the play-in on a 21-21 record. Why would Donovan Mitchell want to go to the New York Knicks? Like, I think even Knicks fans even see this and they're like, well, why? Why would Donovan Mitchell want to come to us right now when he's playing on one of the best teams in the league, who are the 4th seed in the West, on a 28-14 record? Why does he have to leave? Not just that, it was only like a year or so ago when he penciled in a big contract to stay with the Utah Jazz, which I believe he's on like $40 million or something like that a season. I believe he's contracted for the next 3+ years. So I really don't understand this at all. But for the sake of this, of course, this would be a great move by the Knicks. If you have a chance to get Donovan Mitchell, who was a top 3 shooting guard in the NBA, then you're currently doing it. Now, of course, I've even seen people that would argue that Donovan Mitchell is the best shooting guard in the league. Now, I'm not too sure if that is necessarily the case. There are other really good shooting guards in the league, like Devin Booker is still there, James Harden, if we're going to consider him a shooting guard. I know he played a lot of point this season, but I'd still say he's a shooting guard in the NBA. Clay's just come back from injury, so he's there too. So there are a lot of really good shooting guards in the NBA. I'm sure I'm missing one, but I would 100% say Donovan Mitchell is top 3, and I can see how people are, saying he is the best shooting guard in the league, because the dude is the best player on a team right now that is 28-14, absolutely killing it, and he's always consistent, always doing his thing, and I just think he's an absolutely great player. But when it comes to the New York Knicks, does he really even fit in? Now, to get Donovan Mitchell, like, I don't think people realize how much it would be to get Donovan Mitchell. Like, for James Harden his last season with Houston was having a bunch of different hamstring problems, was extremely overweight, and I believe had 1 or 2 years, he had like 2 years left on his contract, right? And I believe there was a offer that actually included Ben Simmons, 4 first-round picks, 3 pick swaps, and Matisse Thybulle, but for some reason they declined that and went with the Victor Oladipo route and just did that. So if James Harden is worth that much, I couldn't even imagine what Donovan Mitchell is worth, because Donovan Mitchell is like 10 years younger than James Harden. It really doesn't have any injury history at the time of making this video, and is locked up for like 4 years on a pretty nice contract. And if you were to trade for Donovan Mitchell, the dude's going to be a franchise player for you for many years, which is, I think, what Utah think he will be, and what I know he will be, because he's not going to be leaving Utah anytime soon. But again, for the sake of this video, it would be a pretty similar trade to what James Harden was, and I definitely don't think Knicks fans would want to do that at all. Not just that, for a trade like this to happen, the Utah Jazz would 100% be wanting a player like RJ Barrett. Like, you're not going to get this deal done if you don't throw in a young guy like that. Like, if, James Harden was worth Ben Simmons, who was an all-star, and of all those first-round picks and this and that, then you would think that you know, a trade that would have to include RJ Barrett, right? And even another young player like Obi Toppin, and like 4 future first round picks and like 3 pick swaps. It's just the way it is. Like, Donovan Mitchell is one of the best players in the league. I think he might even start on the Western Conference All-Star team, which means he'll probably be the starting shooting guard for that team unless they give it to Devin Booker. But I don't necessarily know if anyone else is competing for that spot. So that's obviously a thing. Like, if you're gonna trade for an all-star starter that's like 23, you're gonna have to give up a hell of a lot. And I don't think Knicks fans want to do this. I don't think the Knicks should do this, because right now I think they're going at their own speed. And bringing in a dude like Cam Reddish, I thought made a lot of sense for them, because he's a really nice defensive player who I think could flourish under Tom Thibodeau's game style, and of course even, you know, become another shot creator for them. But again, if you were to get Donovan Mitchell, you would set yourself back so many picks. A young player like RJ Barrett, who's been averaging like 20 points recently on pretty good efficiency. It'd just be a lose-lose for both teams, because it would be too much to give up for a player, you know, when the New York Knicks are where they are at right now. Like, I think they're just cruising along nicely. There's no need to rush and do what I guess this reporter is saying they should do. Then there's the Utah Jazz, who, with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, if they keep both of them for the long term, they're going to contend for the next 5 years. Not just that, I think that after this season, I have a really big feeling the Utah Jazz are going to go ahead and trade for another star. The reason I say this is because they had been linked to Tobias Harris for a long time. And I believe they were shopping around, you know, Bojan Bogdanovic's contract a little bit ago. They were doing the same with Joe Ingles. A lot of them expired. They recently dumped Derek Favors' contract, this and that. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Utah Jazz tried to trade for a dude like Donovan Mitchell. And like, wow, I mean, for Tobias Harris rather. And again, I would think the Utah Jazz would be a dangerous team if you had like a big four of Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Tobias Harris, and Rudy Gobert. It would be pretty nasty in my opinion. They would probably be one of the championship favorites if they can get everything to go, you know, their way. So if you're the Jazz, you've really got like 4 years of guaranteed contending that you can experiment upon and keep building this roster. So why would you trade your best player, who is extremely young, and why would he want to leave? Like, he's the face of the Utah Jazz, who, they're not the most popular team out there, but like, he's still the face of the Utah Jazz. Like, he could be the face of the Knicks, but it's also just like, well, why would he want to go do that? He's probably built a really nice thing going on in Utah. I know, I feel like Knicks fans, I don't want you guys to be watching this and thinking that I'm like hating on your team. I'm really not. I'm hating more on the fact, like, if this was the Heat, if this was the Lakers, if this was the Warriors, if this was even the Cavs, I would have the exact same opinion for every single one of those teams. Like, why would Donovan Mitchell want to leave the Utah Jazz when he's got such a great thing going on for him over there? And again, he doesn't need to go for a big market team. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if you're a Knicks fan, please don't think I'm coming at you guys. I'm not hating or anything like that. It just, I would say this for legitimately every other team. And I'm going to have to pretty much repeat everything I'm saying here for the Miami Heat video, because again, the Heat are also interested in him. And look, I don't know if I'm even going to have enough energy to film that video, but hey, that's going to be crazy. I don't know why the Heat would even be interested in him. They've already got a foundation. The Knicks are building their foundation. Of course, Mitchell would be a star to add to that. It's just, my guy is contracted for a very long time, so it's probably not going to happen. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel. So check out my vlogging channel if you haven't already, which I will all be linking in the description down below. But as I was saying, you know, comment your thoughts and opinions. Do you guys think the New York Knicks should go ahead and try and get Donovan Mitchell? Do you guys think it's a stupid idea? What is it? Let me know. And yeah, as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.